Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Watch and Roam. Today we're going to compare straps and strap materials. What is the best strap, and we're going to compare the different features that different straps and different materials offer. By the way, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification button, otherwise you're going to miss out some content. Alright, so let's start with the steel bracelet. And here I have a steel bracelet that belongs to a vintage Orient watch. And this bracelet, as you can see, it's very jingly jangly. First of all, I have here a number of factors or qualities. First of all, we have the comfortable factor. Is the steel bracelet comfortable? I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's cold. It can be a little sweaty. It can give you rashes depending on if you have allergies to steel or nickel or something like that. And depending on the quality and the design of the bracelet, it might pull your hair, most likely because of the design. Doesn't really means the quality, but the design. Some bracelets are very well designed and it doesn't really pull your hair. So how about durability? Well, on durability, I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's steel. It's a very strong material. It's not gonna break as easily. But depending on the design, depending on the bracelet, because if it has screws, some screws back down and makes the bracelet to fail. So if it has a pin and collar system, then that's a much more secure bracelet. So overall, steel bracelets, I'm gonna give it a 9 because they're very durable. The steel is not gonna break, it's gonna last you many times a lifetime. Functionality, so I'm gonna give it an 8 on functionality because it's easy to put on. Probably your steel bracelet is gonna have a clasp, so the clasp is a lot easier to install in your arm than, for example, a strap or a NATO. But it gets scratched easily and it can scratch other things. So for that, I'm gonna give it an 8 because it is functional, but it has a little bit of some negative points in there. Alright, so non-deterrable in appearance. How well is this gonna hold on in appearance? So I give it an 8 again because it's gonna look fine through the years, but it's gonna get scratches. It doesn't decolorate. If it gets stains, you can wash it, but it's gonna get scratched, so I'll give it an 8. There we have next the titanium bracelet. And here I have the Casio Oceanus, which has a titanium bracelet. This is not a regular titanium, it's a high intensity titanium that on top of it has a carbide coating, so it's very scratch resistant. But let's pretend that this is not a titanium carbide. A high intensity titanium, is just titanium. So is it comfortable? I'm gonna give it a 9 because it has the best of both worlds. It's like steel, but it doesn't have the drawbacks of steel. It's not cold, there's no rash, there's no allergies if you have a nickel allergy. But depending on the design, again, it pulls your hair depending on the build and the design. Let's go to durability. And here on durability, I'm gonna give it a 10 or a 9. Let's go for a 9 because it's a very, very strong material. A titanium is stronger than steel actually. So it's gonna be very, very durable. It's not gonna break or anything. I'm giving it a 9 actually, yes, because it scratch ups really easy, but it's durable. It's durable. And depending if it has a pin and collar system, it's gonna be very durable. It's not gonna fail. If it has screws, maybe not so durable. Functionality is the same as steel. I'm gonna give it an 8 for the same reasons. It's easy to put on, but it can scratch other surfaces or it can scratch itself. Let's go to, is it deterrable? I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's gonna hold on, but it's gonna scratch a lot. It's gonna have a lot of scratches, so it's definitely not gonna hold up very well in comparison to the rest of the materials. Okay, let's go to high intensity titanium, which is the case right here of the Casio Oceanus. This high intensity titanium, let's go to, is it comfortable? Yes, it has all the comfortable benefits of regular titanium. There's no rash, it's warm, and I'm gonna give it a 9 because if it didn't pull hair, I will give it a 10. But depending on the design, it can pull your hair, so it might not be so comfortable after all. And also, a lot of the comfort aspect has to do with design of the bracelet. This one in particular is probably the most comfortable bracelet I've tried in so many watches. And a lot of it has to do with the design of this bracelet in particular and the quality of this bracelet. So for me, this one's almost a 10. It's gonna be a 9.7 because sometimes, some rare times, it pulls one hair or two every once in a while. That's it. It's durable. I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's very scratch resistant. It's gonna, and it's very strong. It's gonna last you forever. If it has a pin and collar system, it's gonna last you forever. Now, if it has screws, it probably is not gonna be a 10. It's gonna be a 9 maybe or less. Usually, you know, titanium, high intensity titanium. Well, titanium in general is not the best to hold screws, I think. But anyway, let's go to functionality. I'm gonna give it a 9 because yes, it's easy to put on, it's secure, it's functional. Actually, for functionality, I might give it a 9.5 because the only negative thing about functionality of this watch is these bracelets scratch on other surface. So that's it. Other than that, it's completely functional. Really good. Probably one of the best bracelets. Let's go to does it deteriorate in appearance? It doesn't. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it doesn't really scratch. It's gonna look the same. If it has stains, it can be washed, etc, etc. But at the end of the day, if there's a very, like if you hit it on a rock or something, it might scratch. While, for example, a NATO strap, nothing's really gonna happen to it. Well, maybe yes, actually. Non-deteriorable in appearance. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because it doesn't scratch. It doesn't really scratch. If it gets stained, you can wash it away. And that 0.5 is because it's not scratch proof. It's not diamond. So eventually you're gonna get some scratches if you try hard enough. Alright, let's go to nylon NATO straps. So here, as you see, I have a number of NATO straps of different colors and different sizes. NATO straps, let's go to comfortable. It's comfortable. I'm gonna give it a 10. It's super comfortable. It's breathable. There's no sweating. Oh, and this is one of the reasons why the titaniums and the steel bracelets didn't get around 10, because it can be sweaty. But this nylon is not sweating. It's breathable. It's warm. There's no allergies. There's no sweat. Well, there's sweat, but you know, your skin breathes a lot. It's really comfortable. This is a 10. So let's go to durability. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's strong. It's very secure. There's no failures. There's no pins, colors. It's, you know, nylon is a very strong material. But I'm gonna keep it at 8 because it can get cut. Like, for example, with a knife. You know, like, you can't cut a steel bracelet with the knife, but you can cut a nylon strap with the knife. Depending on the quality of the strap, it can, you know, the stitches can fail. So for that reason, you know, it can come loose. So for that reason, it's an 8. It can catch on fire. I don't know. You tell me. Let me know. It's a functional. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's not easy to put on and off, and there is an excess of strap, you know, often with them that can come loose. When it's wet, it doesn't dry fast, but it's waterproof, like the steel and titanium and all that. So for those reasons, I'm gonna give it an 8 because yes, it's functional, but not as functional as it could be because it doesn't dry fast, there's an excess of strap, and it's a little bit of a hassle to put on and off. How about deterioration in appearance? Well, I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's not scratchable, but the colors can fade with the sun over time. The stitches can come loose. You probably buy a NATO strap right now, and in some years, if you wear it often, it's gonna deteriorate in appearance, even if you wash it, because it can get dirty. But even if you wash it, you know, the colors might deteriorate and the stitches maybe can get loose. The holes right here on the strap might, you know, get stripped or something. Alright, so let's go to rubber, and let's start with vulcanized rubber. Right here I have the Oris Aquis 39 date, and it has a clasp. Well, this vulcanized rubber is really good. So let's go. It's a comfortable. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it is comfortable. It is very, very comfortable. It's just a little stiff, but it keeps an 8 because it's not amazing with sweat, so your arm might get sweaty, and it's a little stiff, you know, so it doesn't completely adjust to the shape of your wrist so easily. It's a little stubborn. So yes, let's go to durability. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's strong, it's secure, there's no failures, there's no pin and colors, there's no screws, but it can get cut. It can be cut after years of wearing. It might start to get deteriorated and break. Let's go to functionality. I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's secure, it's strong, there's no scratches, it's waterproof. It's very functional, you know, especially this one with the clasp. It's easy to put on. It has everything of best of all worlds. It has the benefit of a steel bracelet, you know, but it doesn't have the drawbacks of steel. You know, it doesn't get scratched, it doesn't scratch other things. It's warm, it's not cold, waterproof, there's no corrosion. By the way, titanium is more corrosion resistant than steel by a lot. You also get that with rubber, vulcanized rubber. So it's completely functional. So I'm gonna give it a 10 right here. Let's go to, is it deteriorable in appearance? Does it get deteriorable in appearance over time? I'm gonna give it an 8 because it doesn't really deteriorate. It's very good for that, but you might get some sun discoloration over time. It might look dry after some time, and it has an end of life, you know, appearance. It's gonna, you know, it might get like dry and stuff like that. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 9. It's not too bad. This is vulcanized rubber, but here I have a number of rubber NATO type of straps. And these combine the best of the world of rubber, although it's not vulcanized, so it might not last as long as vulcanized, and nylon. So they're easy, they're fast to dry, not like the nylon. Probably a better material, a better strap to dive, because you have the double security that you get with the NATO strap of if one spring bar fails, you're not gonna lose the watch. It's comfortable. I'm gonna give this a 8.5 or 9. You know, they are very flexible. It adjusts to the shape of your wrist, so it's very, very comfortable. It's not cold, it's warm, but the reason why it doesn't get a 10 is because you can sweat. Let's go to durability. I'm gonna give it an 8. So functionality, I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's completely functional, it's secure, it's, you know, it gets the job done. Let's go to deteriorability in appearance. Does it deteriorate? I'm gonna give it an 8 because it doesn't really, like, you can wash. Well, actually that's why you get an 8, because when you get stains on these, and this goes to the NATO strap too, you can't really wash the stains away so easily like steel or titanium. I have experience with this rubber strap, like this rubber strap right here. I know this glossiness is not because of wear and tear. This glossiness is just like gunk attached to the watch in some sections, and I know that if I wash this so many times, it's gonna look like new. But this is the reason why it's gonna deteriorate in appearance over time. Wearing it, it's gonna look glossy, which is a little ugh, you know. So let's go to silicone strap. Okay, silicone strap, I have here some silicone straps, and these silicone straps are great. These are from Barton. I have them here in different relatively different colors and different sizes. This is a 20mm silicone straps. It's a comfortable. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's super comfortable, it's super soft, and it's completely comfortable. It's warm, you know, it's very light. It's just a very comfortable feeling. But it gets a 9, it also gets a 10 because you can sweat through it. You know, it can get sweaty. I personally don't sweat so much through my wrist, but I know some people that their wrists sweat a lot more. So this might not be the best option if you're looking for comfort. It might be the last best option, but not the best option. So let's go to durability. I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's relatively durable. I'm not sure completely about this one because some people like Tim Moso from Watchbox saying, and he's, you know, I trust his expertise. He says that silicone doesn't last as long as vulcanized rubber. So I still have to see that if it's true or not. Seiko, but on the other hand, says their silicone lasts longer than rubber. So I have here a Seiko silicone strap that is also very amazing. It has a slightly different feeling from this silicone from Barton. Nonetheless, this one right here, I'm gonna give it an 8 because it has that uncertainty of failure. Let's go to functionality. I'm gonna give it a 10. It's completely functional. It's great. It's waterproof. It gets the job done very well. And how about non-deterrable in appearance? Well, I assume it's gonna be a little similar to rubber, or you know, it might get some discoloration. This strap right here, for example, I didn't dry. It got like a drop of water, and this is basically what it's a sodium or like salt. Have you ever washed? There's some like you don't dry them. There's some water, and then it gets stained. It's basically sodium. So the water evaporates, and the sodium stays in there. So this has this sodium thing, and I've been trying to wash the strap, but it just doesn't go away. So it gets an 8 because it can decolorate and it can deteriorate over time. It's not gonna look new anymore. Alright, let's go to leather, and yeah, you'll have to excuse me for not having a proper leather strap right here. But I have this leather strap that I actually like. It's thin, it's soft. I like this kind of finishing of this leather strap. I mean, the stitches seem to be pretty good. The quality is not bad at all, actually. Is it comfortable? I'm gonna give it an 11 because it's very, very comfortable. It's warm, it's soft, it's you know, it might be softer than nylon, and it's breathable. Let's go to durability. On durability, I'm gonna give it a 7. Probably the worst of all straps in durability because the bigger factor is not waterproof. It gets ruined with the water. So also, if you sweat, like let's say you go working out, and if you sweat, I mean, you're gonna sweat anyway, no matter how breathable a material is. You're still gonna sweat because you're working out. Or if it's just a really, really hot day, you're gonna you know, sweat. The sweat deteriorates the leather material, and it might get ruined after some time. I know that leather straps don't last really long, so it gets a 7. How about functionality? I'm gonna give it an 8 because they're exceptionally comfortable, but they're not waterproof. Can't really wear them in many occasions. Is scratchable. Let's go to deterioration in appearance, and it gets a 7 too. Well, have you ever seen it? You know, leather strap, it gets yucky. You know, it gets stains, it can get scratches, coloration. If it gets dirty, you cannot wash it for your life. So because of that, it gets a 7. Let's go to resin. Resin is a material that Casio uses on many of their watches. For example, this one. And resin, it's not a bad material actually. I'm gonna give it an 8 on comfort because it's very comfortable, but it's a little stiff. I'm gonna give it an 8 on durability because it's fairly durable, but after some time I've seen some resin bands breaking. And I'm gonna give it a 10 on functionality because it's completely functional. Very, very functional. It's efficient. The price on this material, it's low, a little low, so, and it gets the job done very well. So 10. Let's see, is it deterrable in appearance? Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8, just like a rubber and silicone, because it has the same, it's behaving in the same way. Alright guys, so after these, there's other materials, you know, there is ceramic, there is, well, we can say ceramic right here, just a quick, I'm not gonna rate it, but ceramic, it's extremely scratch resistant, but it's really prone to shattering. So no, probably not the best material. There's, you know, of course, other materials. There's the super titanium of Silicone is probably one of the best in the world, etc, etc. But these are the ones I have so far. Let's see the scores. So the steel bracelet gets a 24, the titanium bracelet gets a 32, high intensity titanium gets a 37, nylon NATO strap gets a 34, vulcanized rubber clasp gets a 34, silicone strap gets a 35, leather strap gets a 32, and resin gets a 34. So as you can see, it's really competitive. But at the end, the high intensity titanium gets the upper hand. Me personally, I would go for silicone because that's my preference. I want to get the edge. If I could get a silicone with the clasp, that would be my favorite strap. A good silicone with a good strap. I mean, with a good clasp, because I want that. I don't really sweat through my wrist, and I just like the silicone feeling, you know. So as you can see, it's very competitive. The high intensity titanium turns to be, you know, evidently, you know, a very good, maybe the best option. But because it's so competitive, I don't think there's right or wrong in this. You know, all of them have different factors, different properties, and depending on which occasion, it can, you know, different straps can be better for different occasions. So I think it's a great idea to have different straps and change them for your convenience to different situations. That way you're gonna have a great experience overall most of the time. So the straps, you know, they're competing right here, but at the same time they can't really compete at each other because they're all good at different scenarios in different ways. So that's it guys, let me know what's your favorite type of strap and strap material, and without anything further, I'll see you in the next video.